very important for Argentina, because they were better than the All Blacks on the day, and they were better than the All Blacks in Sydney, and they were better than the All Blacks in Wellington.
Australia have taken a huge amount out of these first couple of games. The All Blacks, we thought we were doing okay. Now we've been set backwards. You guys started slow, and now you've got this fantastic win. So who knows?
Argentina made it extremely uncomfortable. So in saying that, I'd say that, around 70th minute, I couldn't see them coming back.
DSPN, the Devlin Sports Podcast Network.
It is 24 hours and change after Argentina squared it 1-1 in Buenos Aires. History again for Los Pumas, and that is the first win at home in 40 attempts against the All Blacks. 1985, we started going to Argentina to play tests. Well, our man Frankie Deges joins us again, and you know, as many questions as we've got on this side, Frankie, first we got to say congratulations. That was a fantastic effort from your mob. Just really good bruising, you know, butt head kind of test match rugby, and you thoroughly deserved that win. Congratulations, and congratulations on once again making history.
Thanks, mate. Not that we're counting, but it's 21 hours and 50 plus minutes. That's how much it meant. But it was really nice. I mean, the All Blacks first came here in '76. I remember going to watch them play, holding my father's hand, and I was adding and subtracting yesterday, and I've seen that Pumas All Blacks games. Well, I've been to 24 of those games.
Wow!
So finally I got to win, which was really good. It was really I was in Wellington for the 93-8, and that hurt. So yesterday was really nice. But I mean, it's not about me. It's about the team and the way they played and the way they actually won the game. It wasn't the All Blacks lost it. Argentina won the game, and that's very important for Argentina, because they were better than the All Blacks on the day, and they were better than the All Blacks in Sydney, and they were better than the All Blacks in Wellington, and so every time they actually beat them, they beat them.
Yeah.
Some other times they could have beaten them, but you know what? Yeah, it's the All Blacks, and they always have that extra gear, and they always have that extra trump card, and they always have something that makes them different. But this time, we just didn't allow them the opportunities to do what they do. So I think that's what was really pleasing in terms of the win that it was.
Tactically, you know, and this is what I love talking to you, because I know that you've got such a student brain about the game. Tactically, what did you see that you did a lot different from that first test? Because the first test, the scoreline did flatter the All Blacks, but we came back in that test and we scored 2 driving maul tries at the end there and really seized control. What did you do differently to actually stop us winning, as you said?
Well, I think the halfback played a different game. He just took the ball and run around the fringes a bit more. The lineout was way much better. I think we lost five lineouts in the first game. There was only one lineout lost in the 70th minute. The centers ran straight at the opposition. There was a lot of directness, and then the aerial battle. You had Mateo Carreras. He's only 172 high, 1.72 centimeters or meters or whatever. I don't know if you count in inches or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
I do. I'm old. I count feet and inches, so that's 5 foot something. Yeah,
he's a midget. Yeah, he's a midget, and I mean, you weigh him in what he brings to the game, and he brings a lot. But he won the aerial battle. He took a ball from Jordan. On the other side, Delhi, he was also good in the air. So basically, it was always said that to beat the All Blacks, you have to have probably one of your best games, be fully committed, be fully focused, and do everything right.
And that's what happened
yesterday.
The aerial battle is one of the things that is a huge concern over here. We're just not winning it. We're just getting beaten there. And there's a couple of other stats. Scott Barrett said 40% possession and 40% territory, and you can't win a test match. So you dominated, as you say, in many, many aspects.
Yes, yeah, totally. And even the scrum. I mean, over here, everybody was saying that Michael Vivas Number one, he wasn't good in the, and he shouldn't be there. And he came and from from the kickoff, he was the first to get stuck in, and he handled the ball and he tackled, and suddenly this guy that we were all thinking, why is he there? He stood up. Delgado on the other side, he stood up. There were not many scrums, but they did the job otherwise. You got two locks that fight all the time. They're the mongrels. Matera, he had one of his better games. Maybe now that he's played in New Zealand, he's got this desperation to show himself or to be the leader that he used to be, and that sometimes because he's Matera, he takes like a step backward, if it makes sense. He knows that with what he does, he's good enough, but he's not great. And he was way up there yesterday. So basically, as I said, I mean, everybody had Choco. I mean, geez, I mean, he put his body on the line. Everybody. I think the only guy that didn't have a good game in terms of, or in comparison with his teammates, was number 8 Oviedo, who had a very good game the previous weekend. But then that got kind of liquidated amongst themselves because everybody was putting in a bit more than their normal shift. So if there was anyone that wasn't way up there, and he was adequate, he wasn't superb.
At what stage did you feel comfortable that you had won that game? How many was it actually watching Damien McKenzie take that penalty at the end just to get a bonus point for us and celebrating on the sideline? Or at what stage did you feel, I think we've got this?
No, I started to look at the clock around 70th minute. I happened to be arm's length from the All Black staff.
Okay.
And you could see they were not comfortable. But I mean, the way it works at the stadium, the press tribune is right next to where the coaches stand. In fact, they stay in what in soccer is part of the press tribune, and you couldn't hear what they were saying. I mean, I could see Razor all the time speaking on his walkie-talkie and whatever, but they were not comfortable, and you could see they were not comfortable, and the team was uncomfortable, and it's because Argentina made it extremely uncomfortable. So in saying that, I'd say that, around 70th minute, I couldn't see them coming back.
Frankie, when we spoke...
But it's always 80 minutes, and the All Blacks, again, have that extra bag of tricks, which are always careful about. And in a way, and I get it that they needed the bonus point, but... Yeah, it was strange. It was strange seeing them kick that.
Doesn't feel good.
They needed the bonus point. In the long run, you don't know how important the bonus point would be. So I don't know if that came straight from the ground or it was the box that told them, the coaches that told them, listen, go for the bonus point, or maybe it was something they had spoken about. It made sense. It looked strange. And sorry in saying that, and I know it has nothing to do with this, but today I was watching Brazil playing the first ever game in the Women's World Cup, and they were losing, I think, 47-3, 40-yard penalty, third posts. so they got a second penalty. They lost 66-6, but it was strange. Yeah, sorry. Snippet. You can always edit it out if it doesn't make sense.
That was when we were talking last time, and you brought up the consistency thing about how you can play one great game and then you button off in the next game, and it's trying to sort of get this team up to a level where, like that performance, that standard yesterday becomes the standard. Because we've seen this last year. We saw it a couple of years previous to that in Christchurch, where you won that game and then got turned over really badly. I think it was in Hamilton after that. So the first test in Cordoba, the All Blacks, it wasn't, as I said, an overwhelming performance, but it was a comfortable win. Then to turn it around, how is this Argentina team able to do that? It's like it's almost like a different side fronts up the next week.
Yeah, I think it's a bad reflection of the team, because they were that good against the Lions, and then they threw away a series against England. And then they were okay last week, and they were great this week. And we don't know what will happen in 2 weeks' time in Australia. So it is still a reflection of what this team is. They can do what they did yesterday, and they can be the team that lost by 40 points last year in, was it Eden Park or whatever. So it's strange. And now Australia are not the Australia that they were last year when we put 67 points against them. But we by 1 point the previous weekend. So in a way, how good is Felipe Contepomi as a coach? You can see that he did a few things during the week. The team responded, and they beat the All Blacks at home. And I mean, it's in the front cover of every newspaper. Sorry, I'm telling around.
That's all right. No, great.
So
show it.
So you have it.
Okay.
I mean that's on the back page. That's a front page. A front page
right.
in one of the two national dailies, and the other one. So this is the sports section of the other daily.
Yep.
And
there's big news. There's big noise.
This is the front cover of the other daily.
Right.
So, and I'm only very intelligent and I know how to read. That's why I still have newspapers.
I love newspapers.
It's not only TikTok, but all of this in a way. And who are we? What is Argentina? Who's going to show up, or how are they going to show up? We've now lost Albornoz, the first five. He had to operate his finger. They couldn't get him back into position. He only played 10 minutes, and must have been extremely painful. And it looked very painful. And he actually, the way I understand it is, he went to a hospital together with the name of your scrum half that got injured.
Cortez Ratima. Yep.
Yeah, with Cortez Ratima. I understand, or they called for the ambulance at the same time, or they were organizing to be taken together. I don't know if it really happened, but Albornoz got operated last night, and he's not going to Australia. So again, I mean, what will happen? It's consistency is something that is lacking, and I think it has to be a big issue because, we beat Wales the way we beat them in Marseille, and then we lost against the All Blacks by a huge score in the semi-final.
In Paris,
so, I mean, it's not only Contepomi that was under Checa. So, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I'm sorry.
Well,
but I can read newspapers.
You've got a couple of weeks to absorb all of this and celebrate as we look at a rugby championship now, which every team has won one game. And so this is the first time that has ever happened, where we go into round two and all of us have got questions to ask. The Springboks have got questions to answer, haven't they? Because they weren't that convincing in Cape Town against Australia. Australia have taken a huge amount out of these first couple of games. The All Blacks, we thought we were doing okay. Now we've been set backwards. You guys started slow and now you've got this fantastic win. So who knows? I mean, this is the great thing about this competition, I guess.
Yeah, and apparently it's going on. It won't happen next year, but apparently it's going to be working on every 3 years or for 3 years and then a year off. So apparently there will be rugby championship still to be played in the future. But again, there was a lot of people that were saying, I mean, when are we going to see the All Blacks next in Argentina? So in saying that, if this is the last one, what a way to go. I mean, imagine, again, the Wallabies were good against the Lions. They were good against the Springboks. They were going to be good at home. They will be good at home. They also have their injury issues. We'll just see what happens. The two very big games for both sides. And then Argentina travels to South Africa, and they all travel to England because we finish our rugby championship at home in London, which is at home, of course. But in saying that, it is. I mean, it just shows how strong the Southern Hemisphere is.
Good point. Well, again, congratulations. You thoroughly deserve it, and How cool for you, especially with the amount of years you've done this, that you've been around and still working and able to enjoy all of these milestones that are coming along. And the next milestone is obviously to get your team from a semi-final into a final of a Rugby World Cup. That's got to be the next box ticked, surely.
That should be the next box tick. But in a way, and Razor was asked this at the press conference, if they were already thinking about Rugby World Cup or whatever. We're just thinking about today. And I think, in a way, and Contepomi has always said about that. I mean, we got to think about today with the long-term view and whatever. And he's putting the blocks in place to be ready. They just need a shrink to make them perform every week at the same standard. Or if they're going to drop the standard, just drop it a tiny bit, not just forget about the standard. And I think that's the big key in the future going on to the World Cup. And hey, I'm there if you're telling me that they're going to be in a semi-final. Enough. I'd love to. It would be another box ticked, as you say.
Well, look, frame one of those front pages, because you were there, as you say, in 76 as a young boy, and now you've actually been there to see it. Amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Again, I've been blessed in choosing what I chose as a livelihood, and it's given me a lot of joy to travel the world. I've been to New Zealand many times. Sometimes saying, why am I here? I mean, these guys are again getting badly beaten, but yeah, finally being able to see them win was really nice, really nice. And again, we're making this about me. It's about the team and Argentine rugby. This is very important for Argentine rugby, and we'll see the effects of this as it continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. If I can finish with this, yesterday there was Louis supporters, and I through Keith Quinn, Paul Allison, who was bringing them, we organized for them to come and have lunch at my club, the Buenos Aires Cricket and Rugby Club. And it was, I mean, there was no senior rugby because of the Pumas, but there was some age grade rugby and whatever, and they were all really happily surprised about the club and the facilities and whatever. And in a way, what I try to tell them is that that is the backbone of Argentine rugby. That's me today going to watch my kid play, and my friends having their kids playing either for my club or another club, and all these players try to always, the internationals always try to get back to the clubs. So it changes, but your amateur club, the club from where you come from, that's part of who you are, and that's part of who you take on your trip, on your voyage, and when you come back, you just return. So in a way, that's why it's important. As are all from a club, all love the clubs, all understand what it's all about.
This is the DSPN.